Hi, I'm Ellen Mary and I'm a complete plant addict. I'm going to give you some tips of how to keep this beauty alive, the ceropegia woodii, or otherwise known as string of hearts. It's such a popular plant and there's no wonder why. It has these gorgeous vines with these lovely little heart-shaped leaves on. And if you're lucky in the summertime and you've treated it well, you may even find some tiny little flowers as well. The string of hearts is often mistaken for a succulent, and you might think it is because the leaves are a little bit fleshy and you also treat it much like a succulent as well, but it isn't. So there's a few really important things that you can do to keep yours thriving, and if you do, and you do all of the right things, these amazing vines can grow for about 4 to 12 foot long, depending on where you're keeping it and the conditions that it's in. And it's really so beautiful. You'll even find some small little flowers growing in summer as well. So before I give you my top tip for keeping string of hearts, a few things I'm going to tell you about first. It likes lots of light, but it doesn't like direct sunlight. So make sure it's in a nice bright room, perhaps a west-facing windowsill, so it's getting plenty of light. But if the sun is shining directly on it, it's not going to be very happy. You'll know if it's not getting enough light because actually the foliage is a lot paler when it's not receiving the amount of light that it needs. So if that is the case, then just move it into a brighter position. Make sure you pot your string of hearts in some soil that's really well drained. So a good potting compost with the addition of a little bit of grit, or some succulent and cacti compost will work really well too. You never want to leave this sitting in too much water. And that's my top tip, because most people lose string of hearts through giving it a little bit too much love. So you need to make sure that between the times that you water your plant, you let the soil completely dry out, just like a succulent. It can benefit from a feed during spring and summer, but just a little every couple of weeks, and definitely nothing in autumn and winter. Now, as it's growing, make sure you remove any dead or diseased foliage or vines, just to keep it in really good health. And always keep your eye out for pests, like with all houseplants. You want to be keeping a lookout for spider mites and definitely mealybugs. And if you find any of those, it's time to take action. But generally, string of hearts are actually pretty pest-free. As it's growing, you want to start potting it up, and the ideal time to pot most houseplants up is going to be in spring or early summer. So you want to start potting this up as it grows into pots that are a little bit bigger each time. So you're potting it up in stages. That makes sure that it's not in a pot that's too big for the little plant that's in it. One of the great things about the lovely string of hearts plant is that you can propagate it as well, and we all love more plants for free, don't we? So it's as easy as just taking some cuttings from these vines, making sure that you have some nodes from the stem and popping them into water, and you'll be able to see in no time at all little roots developing. And once those roots are strong, you can then pot it up into a small pot of compost, and you have another amazing string of hearts plant. Despite its name and despite the beauty in the heart-shaped foliage, it actually doesn't need much love at all. That is my perfect houseplant.